story now. The jobs bloodbath has just added to the country's increasing pressure points. All this on the eve of Finance Minister Diko's medium-term budget. Economists say talk of plans and more plans is over. Implementation is now the operative word. At the same time, Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe is refuting claims that he bribed two Sunday World journalists. Well, Khusela Diko is from the Presidency, and she's here to talk to us about just some of these issues. Let's talk first, Khusela, about the jobs bloodbath. COSATU describing this as a social explosion waiting to happen. Do you agree with that assessment from COSATU?
Well, Xoli, thank you very much, and thank you for having us on the show. I think the results that were released by Stats SA yesterday confirm that, they confirm the extent of the crisis that we're facing. COSATU calls it a social explosion. We call it an urgent crisis that we need to attend to. They also underline the importance and the urgency of the reforms, some of which are already underway, but others which the President is still to announce. So this is a matter that is obviously very concerning. It's a matter that requires urgent attention and obviously urgent implementation, as you've said.
You talk of reforms that are going to be implemented. I've just quoted some of what is being said by economists and experts who are saying that if you're talking of plans, if the Finance Minister in Parliament today is going to be talking to us about yet more plans, then the country is simply not ready to have a plan that is going to implement. Is there an implementable plan that is in place right now as we speak?
Well, it's a fact. Jobs are being created in the South African economy. It is a fact, though, that they're not being implemented at the pace which is able to absorb all those who are coming in as new entrants into the market. If you just look at the results from Stats SA, they speak about 62,000 jobs that were created over the last quarter, but at the same time, you had 78,000 jobs that were lost. So it's really a no-brainer where we need to focus. And I think those plans that you spoke about have been doing just that. Of the jobs that were created, many of them were in the services industry. They included the defense force, the police, but they also included sectors that we had targeted as government, mining and agriculture, where we said that we need to focus on labor absorbing sectors, ensure that we're able to increase demand in that. But also, as far as the reforms is concerned, and I think government for its part, what we are working at doing, and this we're doing with urgency, is to ensure that we remove all hindrances to implementation, and we ensure that it is easier to do business in South Africa, it is cheaper to do business in South Africa, and a lot of those are beginning to yield results. So the reforms that we spoke about the labor absorbing sectors of tourism. You remember we made commitments around the visa regime, so that has been done. We're now focusing not only on tourist visas, but we're also looking at skilled migration, because we need those skills in this country to help this economy grow.
Let me quickly move our conversation forward and touch on the government wage bill. That is something that some will say has failed spectacularly. The Finance Minister tried to implement it. Those old workers in government have simply not taken up the offer to take severance packages. Is that been abandoned, or is there yet more plans to have it implemented?
Well, I think the Minister of Finance in the MTPPS will speak to a lot of those issues. The government wage bill, it's obviously a very big strain on the fiscus, and there is attention that is being put to that. We spoke about natural attrition perhaps as one of the ways to ensure that we're able to reduce that public sector wage bill. We're also speaking about the claims against the state that perhaps, employees would have, and how we begin to contain that. Early retirement is still an option that is offered to government employees, again, to begin to reduce the numbers. But we must appreciate only that it's a balancing act. You don't want the government itself to be part of culling jobs in the public sector. So as we seek to fill vacancies that exist, to create more jobs, to expand our public works programs, we need to ensure that in a manner that does not put additional strain on the fiscus. So we are looking at various means. We're looking at the salaries, the extent of the salaries themselves, to ensure that that public wage bill is contained.
Mr. Diko, I want us to pause here for a moment, and I want us to have a look at this soundbite from the Minerals and Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe. Let's have a quick look.
They've come to you, so I can't respond something that has come to you, not to me.
And so the DA for allegedly bribing journalists, your response?
It has not come to me. I will respond it when it comes to me. No statement. I have no statement. Check who issued the statement.
Sir, will you sue them?
You are putting the cart before the horse.
That's the minister in the cabinet of President Cyril Ramaphosa. Yesterday, when a first attempt was made, he said, I don't answer to you, journalists. I don't answer to the public. I answer to President Cyril Ramaphosa. You speak for the president. What is the president saying about this matter? The minister is alleged to have bribed a journalist. Those claims he has not refuted.
Well, the President has not made a determination on this matter, so I would not be in a position to speak of it, except to say that we've heard the Minister making, through his Chief of Staff, making assertions that indeed he said he had bribed, but he has not paid any bribe. Now, I understand that the Minister has elected to engage with SANEF on these issues, where he'll be providing clarity, and he's also committed himself to fully cooperate with SANEF in terms of the inquiry into the media ethics and credibility. So I think we should allow that process to unfold.
There's pressure on the President to investigate this matter, Ms. Diko. Is the President going to investigate, at least?
My understanding is that there is a process that the Minister has committed himself to, and he will be taking part, fully cooperating with SANEF in that investigation. I think we should await the outcomes. The President has not made any determination in this regard one way or the other yet.
Minister Mantashe is not the first minister to err in this administration. Patricia de Lille, her sister, had to go, and what happened there? The Minister of Public Works.
Well, the President is on record saying that we will not tolerate anything that is deviant behavior in the administration. And I think that when processes are in place to get to the bottom of certain issues, in the instance of the Minister of Public Works, I understand that she reversed her decision to have made that appointment. And perhaps we should appreciate that these matters are being attended to in the manner that I've outlined, especially in the instance of Minister Mantashe. And let's wait for the outcome of that before making any further judgment calls on it. The Minister has committed himself to clarify the allegations, and I think we should wait for him to do that.
Khusela, Diko, thank you very much for making the time to respond to some of these pressing issues. Thanks indeed. We appreciate your time.